for me, I would have to ask, I couldn't go forward through this without asking the person, A, did they watch the testimonials? And B, what value does testimonials have for you? Because if they don't believe any of that, you're not going to sell a dang thing. And if they do believe it, this basically sets up a testimonial platform for them that they can use. So if they don't believe in testimonials, you ain't going anywhere. I mean, I wouldn't, but the testimonies are very compelling, not just because Steve's, Mel Torme kind of voice, but the testimonies are very compelling, and so tying that to the value, where you're asking about the price, which let's assume that they've all looked at the price, that's a fair thing, and even if they haven't, tying the value to you get this, this, and this is a fine way to do it. But back to the testimonials, what do you think the value was for someone who went from 100,000 to 500,000? Was it worth 20? And you could throw it in like that. Would that have been worth 20 grand to up your income 400,000?
In one year,
in 1 year,
use this for the rest of your career.
Yeah. If they don't get that, just hang up.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, seriously, it's a.
You let the website do the work, and then you answer their 3 or 4 questions, and then I hate the word close, but then you bring them on board as a client. That's how it works.
I know there's going to be a lot of questions, but I can't see it going past really a few. And I don't have any experience. I didn't do your. I mean, I have experience selling, but I didn't do your financial planner thing or whatever. I sell $500,000 franchises. It's a 90-day process at minimum. But yeah. So this is a smaller sale, but it's big to them. It's big to an individual realtor. But if they can't put a value on spending that toward it, and the other thing you mentioned, the thing you mentioned about positioning it from a value standpoint, when you're asking about their budget, their advertising budget, if it's a percentage of what they're spending and tying it to what it's going to take to recoup it, because I get asked that all the time in franchising, when am I going to take my money back? If you can tie it, and I can't answer that actually, FTC doesn't allow us to answer that question, so it's really tough. But here, a sale of a house, do you sell houses that are 600,000? One. Do you think this has the
Notice I don't ask them how much their advertising budget is. Not to be a jerk.
No, that's
I couldn't
fine.
give a shit. Because I know if they're going to be around, they got to spend 20 to 30% of their gross income back into the business, or they are not going to be around.
If that's a common industry number, or an industry for a
top
top producer as a
or people
norm.
that want to be top
What Jim
producers.
did was tee it up. How many houses did you sell? What's your average house price? And already what he just calculated.
Yeah, he can back that. He can back into that number. So, but I like the idea. If you throw out what I'm assuming should be an industry norm that realtors would know. I don't know who's realtors in here, but if they would know that, you can just say that. Hey, normally 20% is spent. If you're doing X amount, this could fit in. How would that fit into your budget? And just make it a line item thing they could add in.
And notice I said, and then this is not about Elizabeth personally, because she is a real estate agent in real life. She's not just a TV actor. Notice I said, you look like somebody that probably could sell triple digits homes a year. Could, right? Yeah, I sell about that. You look her up in MLS, she sold 18 homes last year, right?
Oh.
Or you can get a title report pulled. You can find out what every single realtor has closed. I don't care, that's her business, right? I'm not gonna, hey, how many did you close? Oh, 17. I don't want to know that. Hey, you look like a realtor that could close like 100, triple digits a year, like 100 sales. Yeah, I close about that. You're gonna hear that almost every time.
Is that right?
And I swear, you're gonna look up 100 of them, and three of them will have closed 100 homes in a year. That's a lot. That's almost, that's almost 9 a month. That's a lot.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they're not
smacking the ball out of the park. But you just put them in a good position to be successful. You know you're going to help. You know if you get the system, that's the part we haven't talked about. You guys can feel pretty good about selling this stuff, right? I mean, when you know how well they're going to do on the back end, that's the fun part. We're not selling something that's not going to work. So that's really cool.
Tony, I want to ask a question. You set me up, teed me up really well the last week to talk to 3 people who have huge influence in the real estate business. What did you do to edify me so they would take my call?
Well, first of all, what I did was I sent that.
Talk a little louder, please. I don't
The
can't hear.
video, the testimonials, send testimonials, and then I use your thing on your voicemail. I know people have said it for 30 years, so $500,000 per cent of the business, or $500 million business. Okay, I said I think you should take call from the
So that's what I would say, but I want you guys to come up with the right thing. We don't have job titles or anything like that, but I would say this about me, is that I want to get you on the phone with Chuck Troutman. In his business career, Prairie sold over $550 million. That's $500 million worth of goods and services for himself and for his consulting clients. He so believes in this program here that he has given up a consulting practice where he's making $6,000 a day to do this full time. You got to talk to this guy. That's what I would say.
That's what I would say. Now I don't say that.
Yeah, yeah. So, just, I mean, what do you guys think? You got to say
You
it.
send that to us to re-say that.
I don't want-
We're writing as fast as we can. That's a perfect edification.
All
Who
this
doesn't want to
stuff
talk to
will-
someone that's 6,000? I know it's on
Yeah.
video, but you know what?
Yeah, but if you
I
just
don't know
did
about
a
watching the whole
voicemail.
video today. Anyways.
I just listened to this
That's- these are the
voicemail,
bullet points.
that was it. I mean, you listen to your recording, it's like right there.
I'll type all
I
this
don't know what it
verbiage
is. I
up.
don't remember that.
Well, I remembered it.
We'll type all this verbiage up, use whatever you want, don't use it, adapt it to your style. I know, Murphy's, you got a couple more minutes, you boogie in 10 more minutes? Yeah, okay, I want to show you a couple of hardcore things. We can do some more Q&A after that. Just know when you get good, you're going to hear the same 10 questions every time. So, Sheila, and I'll answer your question right at the end. Sheila, you are going to hear, how much does this cost? How does it work? And this is all typed up in the Q&A. How much does it cost? How does it work? Can I get once they figure out how well it's going to work, an exclusive territory? Will you chop up the payments? Who's doing this in my market right now? Can I call some people that are already doing it? Right? They're going to want to do that. What success have you had? What am I missing? Help me out, Brian.
These are the red flags we were talking about earlier. All
Yeah,
of those
they're-
are red flags.
They're red flags, but they're legitimate questions, right? How much does it cost? Will you carry me? Man, do I gotta cut a check? Oh, take a $20,000 hit on my credit card? Ugh. Or debit card, or write a check for it? Yuck. January is when my new budget comes around. A lot of people will say that. And it doesn't matter if it's April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. At January 1st, my budget will free up. Come on, seriously? We're gonna wait till January? It's May. Stop. Stop. Sheila, how many homes did you sell? How much this? How much that? What are you doing? Pretend I'm a client of yours, and I'll turn it around on somebody. I want to sell my $1.2 million home with you. What do you do different than the other 76,000 realtors in the Phoenix Valley? 76,000. What do you do different? How are you going to earn my 3%? I'm going to pay you 6%. Don't forget, because I have to pay the other agent that's bringing the buyer in. You're slapping in an MLS, putting a sign in my front yard, maybe putting some flyers, maybe not, maybe sitting in an open house, maybe not, maybe putting it on Zillow, maybe not, maybe doing maybe 6% of $1.2 million. I'm going to pay you $72,000 that I would rather keep in my bank account. What do you do differently than anybody else? They aren't going to have an answer for you because they don't do anything different than anybody else. And they do that stuff. I'm not being mean about realtors. I own a real estate firm. I was a mortgage lender. I closed 8,000 transactions. I know the business inside and out. There isn't spit she's going to say that's any different than Jeff or Liz or any of it. What they do bring to the table is their knowledge, their experience, their talent, their work ethic, their charisma, their selling ability, their packaging ability. But all that stuff, I'm not saying it's not important because it is 1,000% important. But how do I judge that about Sheila or Elizabeth or Jeff? Say I'm farming around for realtors. How do I judge if Tony's going to sell it faster? I need some kind of delineating factor. And again, I know this is self-serving. The pictures are right here. If I get a multimedia business card from one, and I can go to their website and I watch a video about Sheila, she's all tricked out, and she looks pretty, and she's in a suit in this one, and a dress in this one, and I got 20 free reports, and she's going to pay for my closing costs or my free appraisal, and she gave me a multimedia business card, and she did all this other stuff, and I'm reading through her crazy, awesome reports. Bye-bye, everybody else. I'm with her. She's the El Cabasa. She's the ringer. She paid that much money for this system. She went to all this work. She separated herself from everybody else. She blew everybody else out of the water. So 76,000 realtors, I need something to set somebody else apart, to bring them above the rest of them. And that would be the shock and awe, factor. I know you guys got to go. Here's a fun one. Oh, soda's coming in, food's coming in. Let me sneak this one in right now where you get your food and you're all happy and going to get some carb loading and all that. So we're going to get into some meat. I know the Murphy's got to leave. A couple other people. Rob had to go, but he knows how to do this. So again, we literally, by the time we're done, we'll have 58 technologies: fax, text, email. probably the most effective? Anybody?
Yes.
Crickets. Miranda, right? Real quick, real simple, and don't try to overcomplicate this, because seriously, my 12-year-old son would be bored doing this. It's so simple. You look up realtors on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, right? Facebook has their personal page, and they have a business page. Most realtors, most human beings have got a business. Or LinkedIn. You take your phone, you go to their website, you click on their picture. This is Rob and his wife, Carrie. Rob just left, so I was going to try to embarrass him. The sweetest gal on the planet Earth, by the way. So you go to their website. We're going to have our graphics department. This is something we'll get done in the next couple weeks after we get all the websites out. You guys have all seen the Welcome to Las Vegas. You've seen the Revax balloon. You know what the Grand Canyon looks like. You know what the Eiffel Tower looks like. You know the Hollywood Hills sign. I've got a list of 40 different graphics that we're going to make like that. But it's going to say, welcome to fabulous Ultimate Real Estate, and it's going to have your website, something of that nature, right? And it's going to be around the edge. So picture artwork with the call to action that's shocking and compelling. So text realtor to 72,000, or go to this website to learn how to double your production next year as a realtor. We'll have all different kinds of messages and all different kinds of frames and pictures, and have this Las Vegas up at the top or down at the bottom. So picture you on your iPhone or whatever you have. You're sitting there at night. Hey, I want to jam some more business in here. Go to LinkedIn.